Hello, everyone. My name is Hector Mendoza. I had somebody ask me to post something about missing walls. Now, there's a lot to cover on missing walls. I'm going to try to make this kind of fast because there's a lot uh, to missing walls. So, what we're going to cover here is, how to create pillars out of missing walls, and also there's a lot of difficulties when you're creating missing walls. I'm going to cover a little bit about windows now. I have a video just specifically for windows, but there was something I didn't cover that I'm going to cover on this video. So this is mainly going to be about missing walls. So uh, you know you can have missing walls above staircases, or you can have a section of a wall. Then, like if you're trying to create like a bathroom with, how you have your stalls, like there's space below the door, and then above, missing walls. And then inside there you might have here, let me turn off the ceiling. Inside, you'll have a commode, you'll have some missing wall at the bottom, then you'll have a wall, then you have a missing wall on top. So I'm going to show you how to create those. And in addition to that, uh, there are some. Let me look at some of my other. Sometimes you might have a house, and like let's say there's going to be a room on this side, but you'll have this part only missing. And if you don't know how to do this, it's kind of difficult. In addition to that, when when you're creating windows and you're trying to remove windows from a like a triangular room, if you don't know what you're doing, you're not going to be able to put this triangle there or that one there. That's actually a, a it's not it's called a trapezoid. Okay, so let me show you how to do some of this stuff. Okay, so you see, I got so I picked this up on the internet, this house, right? And to create this, normally what I would do is I would create an exterior elevation and then remove the windows from that exterior elevation. So so normally what I would do is I would import an underlay, and I can draw from that, and that's what I did here. So I have a video that explains how to do those underlays, right? So basically, this is what I did, and the reason I did this was, let's say, some of your carriers will allow you to have a drawing like this. It's an elevation sketch, or some people are going to want you to do it this way. So see, it's so here it is right here. Now, so uh, let me show you how to do it right here. So what I did was I went in and I imported this, and then I sketch on top of this. I'm just going to show you just a few little, how I did it. So, I drew my area, I created a square, hit Control C, Control V, Control this, and I'm not even trying to get close. So I'm just showing you basically what I did. I created it that way. Okay, so and I have a video that teaches you how to do this. Okay, so this is what I got. So, so I went in and I selected this item so that I could have my measurements for each one of these windows. Okay, so I went and all I did was created a snippet. So I just, hit my shift uh, window S to get the snippet. I went in and then created a snippet. So this snippet, I put it on a different window. So I have it on my left window. So uh, so with those measurements, I've created this right here, this one down here. Okay, so now let's go in here and delete this right here, and I'm going to show you the difficulties that you can have when you're doing this. So let's go to 3D. Oh, excuse me, that's not the one I want. Okay, let's go to this one down here. It is this one. Okay, so the easiest way for me to delete all of those windows out of here is, I could go in here and select them this way, right? By holding my control key, or I could just go to it's called the pan view, right? No, excuse me, the it's two. It's the two keyboard. I don't see it up here. Let me see. So I don't know. Okay, so let's just hit the 2D two. I know my commands. It's hard to find this stuff for me because all I use is commands. So the easiest way would be just to select them, delete. That's why I like. Uh, Let me see if I see it now. Yeah, it's called the elevation view. Okay, I call it 2D, but it's the elevation view. Okay, so now, so this is what you would have a regular room. So now, let me show you the difficulties that you would have. So I like using it with my using the 2D. Okay, so watch this. If I go in here and I start drawing this, remember I have this thing on the left hand side. You know what? Here, let me make it easy so y'all can see what I'm doing. And I'll go in here and put this to my right. Okay, so uh, this is what I would have on the left hand side. So the easiest way to do this is to go in and start from the center, because uh, it's just easier that way. Okay, so let's because you want it as center as you can, and it's hard to work from the out exterior in. So the first thing I'm going to do is hit W for window, right? Okay, so uh, now the width of this particular window, if you look right in here, it's 1 feet, uh, 1 feet 8 inch. Excuse me, it's actually 1 foot 10 inch, because this number here is for all of this right here. So it's 110, right? So I'm going to go in here, go to my properties, and I want the window to be 1 comma 10. So um, so you see how I'm off a little bit, then I would move it over to the right. Now that's the center. So then I would work my way up. Uh, so so my first measurement down here, the height of this would be uh, 2 feet 3 inches. Okay, so I'd click here, change that, the height, that's the base height, so 2 comma 3. Okay, and then I would create the next one. I hit Control C, Control V, and I just put it right on top. And the height of that one is 3 feet 2 inch. Remember, I'm looking at this down here, 3 feet 2 inch. So the height is 3 feet 2 inch. And then the next one is 4 feet. So hit Control C, Control V, and then in a minute we're going to start getting into the problems. So let's go into the height and change that to a 4, and then we would have that little triangular part down here. Oops, that one right there. Okay, um, so I'm just going to hit W for window because it's so small, and It's 110 by, whoops, W. Okay, so when you get into the areas where it doesn't, where it's tight, it won't let you type it. Like for instance, you see, look, if I click here and I go in here and I try to change the width to 110, that time it did because I guess there's enough room. So, but look, I want the height also to be 110. Let me see if it'll let me do that. So the height, I want it to be 1 feet 10 inch. See, it doesn't let me do it, right? But sometimes you can stretch it. You see, because that's as high as it's going to let me. Let me make sure those are the correct numbers at 110. Okay, to make it perfect grid. So right now, it let me do it sideways, right? But up and down, it's not letting me because look, it's hitting this right here. Even if I turn this into a triangle, triangle, and let me see the peak 0. I need that to be at 0. Whoa, I need that's high the side to be 0. Okay. Okay. So even though that it looks like it would fit in here, it's not gonna let me get any higher. Okay. You see, I only got one. I want this to be 110. It's not letting me do that. And then I'm gonna show you how to get around all that in a minute. Okay. So um, and you're gonna run into that because what you what this thing is looking at, as even though it's a diamond, is looking at a rectangular around this whole area, right? So it's not going to let me get any further than this or any further than this right here because it's basically touching this part. And so now I'm not going to draw all this other stuff here. It won't take me a second here. So let's go ahead, Control C, Control V, and then this one here is 1 feet 1 feet 11 inches. So the width, 111, and then so it's going to be the same on the other side. So I'm going to hit Control C, Control V. Uh, okay, so then we have on this side, I got do the same thing, Control C, Control V, and so it's already 110. Control C, Control V. Okay, now here's where we're going to get into the problems. Okay, and I'm not being real. I mean, I would be, I would try to get this more accurate to get it closer, but I just want to show you the problems that we're going to have. So you see this thing right here, this triangle? Well, it's a trapezoid. You see this trapezoid here? And you see this trapezoid? It's not going to let me put it in here. And let me show you. So this particular trapezoid is 1 feet 11 inches at the bottom. The height is 3 feet 9 inch. So watch. So if I hit W for window, and I try to draw that. You see, first of all, I can tell you it's not going to draw that because look in this area right here. You see, it's going beyond that diamond, right? Now, if I go to the left, you see how now it stopped that circle with the line through it. That means that it's not going to allow me. So I'm going to go to the left a little bit. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make this the same size as this one here. Or actually, it's supposed to be, this one is 3 feet 9 inch. So I could actually go in here and change that, the height to 3,9. Okay, now, so I want this just in I just want to put it just in position because I'm going to show you how to fix this problem in a minute. So I'm going to hit Control C, Control V, and I'm going to slap this guy right. See, it's not going to let me because you see it's too high. We move these things too far out from the center. So Let me see. I'm going to move everything to the right just a hair. Okay, let me see if it'll let me now. Um, there it goes. 1 feet. Oh, what do we needed? 1 feet 11 inches, and the width. Oh, it's only giving me 10 inches, and I need for this thing to be 1 feet 11 inches. So you see, but I'm going to leave it there for right now. Okay, so let me get this thing a bit closer here. Unfortunately, there's not an underlay that you can put to create it on this level. Okay, so this and this would actually be this and this. Now I need to create this guy and this guy here, right? So I'm gonna hit Control C, Control V, and see. Yeah, so I'm gonna put that guy right there. I'm just gonna place it in position for right now. Control C, Control V. Because remember, guys, look, watch this. This is far as it'll let me go because this is the size of the room. It's not gonna let me go any further. uh, and So let me show you how to fix that real quick. So I'm going to hit 1 to get this elevation. So I'm going to trick the machine to allow me to fix that. So this room is, it's a picked room, picked. Uh, Distance really should be 17's okay, and the pick is 14. Okay, that's what was the size of this room. Okay, now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a room, and I'm going to slap it right against that, right? But this room, I'm going to tell it to be, let's say, 17 feet tall. That's how I'm going to trick the machine into allowing me to fix that. So look, if I get on this side of the room, so I'm going to hit 2, I still can't move this, right? But if I get on this side of the room, I'm going to hit 2 again. Now I can manipulate these things because it thinks there's a wall there. So, uh, so remember, this one had to be 1 foot 11 inches wide. Okay, so let's go in here and put 1,11. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing to this one here. The width is 1,11. Okay, so it's not letting me, but if I stretch it out, look, now I got it to 111. I don't know why it does it. Now I can go in here and check 1,11. Sometimes you have to pull it. Now the last thing we have to do is turn it into a trapezoid, right? So now I click here. I go into the shape. I'm going to tell it to be a trapezoid. Now I want this end right here. I want that to be 0, right? And then I want this one here, excuse me, let's go with 0, and this one here we'll go with 3,9. There we go. Remember, this is what we're trying to achieve. So now I'll come to this one, and I'm going to change this into a trapezoid. And I'll do the same thing. So side A, I want that to be 3,9, and side B to be 0. There we go. Now it looks just like this, right? So now I don't know why, but every once in a while uh, it does some weird stuff. But you know, while we're at this, let me go ahead and do this one and this one here. And okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing here. I'm gonna go in here, change it into a trapezoid. Then I'm going to change the side A into 2 comma 11 and that to 0. Okay, so you see this is what I'm getting down here. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to change this into a uh, trapezoid, and um, so this I'm going to turn to 0, and the other one I'm going to change it to 2 comma 11. Okay, now you can you can reposition it. Okay, now watch this, guys. This one is I'm just gonna kind of make it look like this. Control V. I don't want to spend too much time on the exact numbers because I got a lot to cover on this video. So um, okay, so now that's what this looks like, right? Basically, uh, like I said, I could change that into what it's supposed to be, which is 1 comma 4. And I said I wasn't gonna do all of this. Like I said, man, I got a lot to cover. And it really doesn't matter where it's positioned, because what our concern is removing this from the material from the wall, because we don't owe to paint that. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to 1D. Okay, now I'm going to go to this side down here, and it might change it once, and then once you change it again, it'll be fixed. So we're going to get 2D on this side. Okay, and you see, I told you, I don't know why it does that, but all I got to do is transpose those numbers, and now you see on this side I can see it, right? So we just go back to 2D, and once you change these numbers, then you'll be good to go. Okay, so now so we're gonna hit 3 comma 9 and 0, and go to this one, and then so this is gonna be 0 3 comma 9. Okay, now when you go to it, you could have not worked on it on this side. Oops, hit the wrong key. If you would have went in here on this side and tried to do those alterations, it will not let you do it. You have to get on this side of the wall, okay? Because this room is bigger. Now it's fixed, right? Okay, now that we fixed that, here, I'm gonna save that. Okay, so I can actually delete this. That was just a temporary thing, just so I could manipulate this to this way. Now look, if I hit 2D, boom, it's there. 3D, you can trick Xactimate into doing things that you don't that normally it won't allow you. So that's what I wanted to show y'all guys. When somebody tells you, "Oh, I can't put a window in there," and something like this, well, they that's not quite true. You can manipulate this. I just did this by trial and error. I couldn't find nothing on the internet that would show us how to do this. Okay, that's one thing that I wanted to show you. Okay, so we're gonna jump on here. I'll go ahead and remove that. And again, I apologize for going so fast because there's a lot of things I want to cover about missing walls. So same thing here. Let's say you had and y'all seen this before. So let's say that there was another room on this side. Uh, okay, and you go in, and let's turn off. And I tell you what, let me make that into a 12-inch 12 feet wall, and let's go to 3D, and let's go ahead and turn off the ceiling. Okay, that way you can see. So let's say you're inside a room, and I know y'all had this before. You walk in, and it has this side that's missing, but the rest of it is it's a wall. Same thing when you walk on this side. this part is missing, okay, but this side is a wall. Um, Now it's the same thing we did earlier. If you try to create that by just using missing walls, it's not gonna work. So y'all remember what I had, right? Okay, so now watch this. So uh another thing, I apologize to the guys that've never done missing walls. Let me start from the beginning. One thing, I apologize, but you have a missing wall here, and basically you can click on it or just hit the M. You're going to see me use a lot of commands, but that's where you get your missing walls. Okay, so now uh, we're going to go in and create that room again, and we're going to make that into a 12-foot tall, come on, 12-foot tall room. Okay, now what I want to do is I want, here, let's go to this side. I want only half of this wall missing out of here. So if I hit M for missing wall, let's say that I want it from the bottom to the top of this one. There's no way that I can tell it missing wall per se. So watch this. So let's say it says missing to ceiling. If I say yes and hit enter, here's the problem we have. So if I go to 2D, you see everything's missing, right? So let's go to 3D. Now I'm missing this whole wall here, which I this is not correct, because what I need is part of this wall here, because uh, that wall should go like this, and there should be a wall right in here. So let's say that I went in and selected this, and I told this to be a trapezoid. So from here is 8 feet, and here's 12 feet tall. So if I go to 2D, go right in here, and I turn this into a trapezoid, uh, trapezoid, you know what? That will actually work right there. To 2D, yeah, that'll actually work. So let's go to 3D, and that works. You see, because if I put a ceiling here, you see, that ceiling is going to go right in there. Um, Normally, it's not going to let me create that trapezoid here. Excuse me. Wait a second. Okay, no, it let me on this side. On this side, it would not let me do that trapezoid. Actually, this is higher. So, uh, and here, so let me show you how you would measure from here to here. So I'm going to hit L for line. Okay, if I go from the bottom to, oops, from the bottom to the top, that's actually 8 feet tall, right? So if I go to my trapezoid, click on that, the short end, side A should be 8, enter. See, it's not letting me on this side, and that's what I wanted to show y'all, right? Now, if I go back to, um, let's go to the other side. Let's go to the, now I could go in here and change side A into an 8. Okay. Remember, it wouldn't let me on the other side. So let's go to 2D. There you go. Sometimes you have to trick the machine into put in a room. And let's say there was already a room there. You might have to trick it by telling it that it's 14 feet higher, higher than what this side is, to allow you to put that in there. Remember earlier, it wouldn't allow me to put this number on this side. Okay, now if I delete this room, now I could go to 3D, and so here, Shift C for, see, it's deleting that whole wall right there. Okay, it's deleting that whole wall. And I'm going to show you how to fix that real quick. See, you got to be real careful when you're creating this stuff. So let's go back, and I'm going to put that wall back. Now, if I go in here and I change side A into, let's say, 7 feet 10 inches. Oops, 7 feet 10 inches. Just give it a couple of inches, and let's 11 feet and 11 inch. So hopefully that should resolve the problem. There you go. You see? Because once you remove this, it needs something to hold on to. So now if you go to 2D, see, this part's missing. I could probably inch that up a little, a little bit. I could probably tell it 11 feet, 11.5. And then, so let's go to 3D. Yeah, you see, I got it closer. But that's how you have to manipulate this machine, this thing to do this. Okay, so let me see if I got some notes here. Okay, so another thing on removing walls. If I wanted to remove this whole wall, you would go to the missing wall or hit M. If you left click, it's going to remove the whole wall. Okay, so if you ever accidentally go to missing wall and you click there and you're missing, then all you have to do is hit Control Z, or so here, let's miss it. So let's say you don't know how to hit Control Z, you can click on the wall and hit delete, and it brings it back. Okay, so that's how you can get your missing walls. Okay, so now let's go more into missing walls. So a missing wall, so let's say I hit M for missing wall. A missing wall is gonna, and depends on how far you select. Oh, let me go back here. So watch this. Remember, if you click once, it deletes the whole thing. Now, if you go to missing wall again, you can go wherever you want. So let's say I'm gonna go 2 feet 5 inches from the left. I'm gonna click. I'm gonna drag. You see in the center part, it shows you how far you're gonna drag. So let's say I go 5 feet. Now, so what that's going to do, now we have a 5 feet wall. Now, the height of it is 6 feet 8 inches. That's your standard missing wall. So if you go to 3D, you see from here to here, 6'8", just like a door, right? Or you can go into your properties and you'll see 6'8" here. And the base is 0. Now, this is right now it's a rectangle. You can also go in here and change this into a flat arch, right? See? Now, or you can tell it a round arch. Okay, see, now it looks like a round arch, right? There's other ones that you go in here and you can change into, let's say you could make it round. It start from the bottom, so it's gonna be oblong because it's not a perfect round. So let's go to 3D. So that's what it would look like. or you can go in here. You have other ones, octagon 3D. That's what the octagon would look like. Um, then you also have your trapezoids. You know, that's what a trapezoid looks like, and you can manipulate that. Okay, that's a trapezoid. Uh, so let me show you a little bit of way. Like, let's say that I wanted like a triangle looking, right? So I'm just gonna hit 0, and then you go 3D. You see, looks like a little triangle, right? You can also uh, tell it to be a triangle, which this is what a triangle would look like, right? Or, I mean, even with a triangle, you can change this to be, let's say, 3 feet. And now look what it's going to look like now. Give me a second here. Um, Side A, side B, with base height, let's say 2, and 3D. You see right here? Okay, so now those are some some ways of doing that. Okay, now, so let me see, make sure that I've covered everything that I wanted to cover here. We did. Okay, so again, you see this right here? You see this shape right here? You have to manipulate this if you want that there. So let's delete this. Y'all remember what that looked like, right? Okay, so we're gonna start from scratch. So if I put a triangle up there, watch this. I'm gonna um, I'm gonna go to my 2D, click here. I'm gonna create a W for window, right? Or it could be missing wall, whatever. So I'm gonna select this area, and I'm gonna turn this into a triangle. Okay, so check this out. You see, if I wanted to even this out, so this is as high as I can go. You see that square? Even though that triangle is not really a square, that's as high as I can go. Even though there's space there and there's space here, it's not going to let me go any further because, uh, you know, because it looks at this as a triangle. Triangle. Let me show you that on a 3D. So if I go in here and I select this, it still doesn't show it. No, okay. I guess 2D is going to be the easiest way to demonstrate this. So, from here to here, it's not going to let me, or actually from here to here, it's not going to let me go any further than that because that's actually touching the walls. So um, now I'm going to show you how to get it all the way up there. So when you're out there, remember this little trick. Okay, so I'm going to go to 1D. I'm going to create a room. Okay, I'm going to create a room right here, and I'm going to make that room a lot taller. So I'm just going to pick a number. I'm going to say 14. It doesn't matter what size. Okay, now, so if I hit 2D, now it deleted my, here, let me see. Oh, is that the right one? Let me see, give me a second here. Yeah, that's okay. So I'll do it again. So first I'll go on this side and create a window and turn that window into a triangle, right? Okay, and that's as far as it's gonna let me. See, if I go further, look what happens. You see? Oh my God! Huh? Oh! It's let me do that because I'm because I'm selecting it from this side. It knows that there's a wall back there. Remember before it wouldn't let me do it. Okay, so now I could go in here and change my the height. Let's say I wanted to get this a little closer. So the give me a second here. Okay, side height. So let's change that to 2,2. It's not gonna let me from that side. Okay, so let's go right in here again, and we're gonna go to this side of the wall because this is taller. Okay, give me a second here. I took it to the bottom. It knocked it down. Okay, because I was trying to play with it on this other side. Okay, because that's really as far as it will really take it from this side. You see how it knocked it down, right? It's because I'm trying to manipulate it on this side. If you go to this other side, you can manipulate it any way you want. So you see, you go to this side, see, it'll let you go as far as you want down here. Um, so this is the only area that you can actually manipulate it from because it's, it's taller than the wall in the back. So I'm going to change that to 2,2 and see how close. So 2D. You see, this is what I'm trying to get it to change right here. I want this to be a little closer, right? So and so 2,5. That's going to be way too much. 1D, 2D, 1D, 2D. No, that's close. You see, I kind of evened out that shape. But the whole reasoning for this lesson is to show y'all that you can get it higher and you can get this lines lined up, but you can't work on it on this side. Even though it acts like it's going to do it, then when you go back to 1D, it takes it all the way down because it knows there's this is the end of the wall. But again, you go to this side, you can manipulate it because look at all the room you have. Now, if I try to move this, the the tip of it would only let me take it there. You know, I couldn't go any further. Uh, so I thought I'd show you that. Remember, you need another wall taller in order to manipulate something like this. Okay, so let me show you some other stuff on creating missing walls. So one of these days you're gonna come upon a bathroom, right? And y'all have been there, those stalls where there's a missing wall at the bottom, there's a missing wall at the top, and then you have a door. And when you go inside, you know, you'll see something missing at the bottom and something missing at the top. So let me show you how to create those. So if you were doing a commercial job and you know, and you had to paint this, you got to create it exactly like you see it. And some people don't know how to create this thing, so I thought I'd show you how to do this. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. Um, so let's start from just a little room here. Okay, so if you go to 3D right now, this is what you have. So most of y'all probably what y'all probably familiar with is let's start with the basic. So if you had this wall here, let me go ahead and delete this. Okay, so now you just have a wall. Okay, and the way I created that wall, of course, I hit my Shift W and I click and left click, drag, click, escape, and that creates me, it could be a pony wall or a wall. Now, so the first time, what I'm going to do, you know what, let's do something different. Let's go ahead and hit the break tool, and create, let me, give me a second here. I do it that time. Okay, so I'm going to create a room, and I want that room, for, let's say, the bottom part to be a wall, and then the top part, to be to be missing. So if I click here, actually here, let's do this. Let's hit M for missing wall and hold my control key so I can click and click. Okay, now it removed both of them, right? So now I'm going to select here and select here. What I'm doing is selecting the walls. It's kind of tricky. If once you get experience, you'll know how to select those walls. So watch this. Now if I go in here, my properties, and then I want it extend surface, I'm going to say yes. I'm going to tell it 10 feet. And here, you see where it says goes to ceiling? Um, I'm going to say yes, but on the here, opening base, I'm going to change that to a 4. Okay, so now you see how you still don't see a wall there, right? You need to get your thickness and change it into a 4. Now look what you have, 3D. Remember, I wanted the bottom part to have a wall, and then the top part not to have a wall. Sometimes you'll see that. Now let's reverse that. We're gonna, we're gonna reverse it where this is missing and the top part is there. Sounds weird, but you're gonna come upon those kind of rooms. So let's go ahead and let me show you how to do that. So all I have to do is click here and just change some numbers around. So that stays the same. Extend surface. Oh, I'll explain what this extend surface means. A lot of people don't even know what that is, but I'll show you what that is real quick in a few minutes. And then I'm going to say yes, but this time base height, I'm going to tell it 0. Here, I'm going to tell it no. Okay, and then I'm going to change that to a 4 and change that to a 4. Now look, hit 3D. Now I got a wall at the top, and then I have a wall at the bottom. So if you were ever curious what this uh, extend surface, let me see, where was it? Here, let me click here, and you see right here it says exterior surface 10. This is for your exterior surface. So let me show you what that is. So remember, look, you see this wall? Okay, this room is an 8-foot room, right? So the ceilings are 8 feet. But if you click on this wall here, you're going to see this other thing that says exterior surface 10 inches. I'm going to exaggerate this one, and I'm going to put it 2 feet, okay, so that you can see what that means. Okay, now, so if I hit 3D, you see right here? Remember, I exaggerated this one for the, and it's, remember, it's talking about the exterior. I extended it 2 feet instead of 8 inches. It's always going to give you 8 inches by default. And so let's look at the back of this wall. This is what they're talking about. This little lip right here. They always give you 10 feet. Remember, there's the ceiling. Now, let's say that you didn't want that in there. You could go in here and select all the exterior walls, right? And tell it exterior surface. It has multiple because remember, we changed one to 12. We're going to sell it 0, enter. Now, when I hit 3D and I go to the back side of the wall, look, there's no lip there. That is what that is, guys. So if you ever wondered what that is, that's what that is. That sounds weird. Okay, so now that you've done that, then this is how you would create this thing here. Okay, so I like working a lot in in my, it's called control. I use control 2, uh, and I never the elevation view. I can never remember because I don't use pull down. So the elevation view. I love elevation view. So I'm going to show you how I did this right here. So we're going to hit 3D. Remember, there's no wall, there's a door, no wall. So I'll go to the back side of this and show you how I did that. Okay, so when you're in there, you're going to do all this measurements, right? I hope you are. And that's the only way you're going to get this. So we're going to go to the elevation view. I'm going to click right here. Okay, so I'm going to create a door. First, let's go to the missing wall. So I'm going to click on M for missing wall, right? So I'll snap to that. I'll snap to the left, snap to the right. Let's say the wall is the missing wall is 2 feet from the bottom. Okay, so I can go in here. You see right here, the height 2. Okay, hit enter. Uh-oh, having to enter. Okay, or you can go up and down. Now let's say that the whole, or did no, it's not going to be a whole a door. So the door would start right here. So I'm going to hit D for door, and I'm just going to select a door that size right here. Okay, and let's make it a little bit smaller. Okay, so now let me show you what this looks like. So 1, 2, 2D, right? Let's go 3D. See, missing wall. You got a door. Now let's say that from here up you want it missing. So go back to 2D, and I'm going to hit M for missing wall. I'm just click and drag, and oh, when you're doing this, look, it's just better just to let it go like that and then push it all the way. That way you don't lose it. Okay, so and then all you got to do is snap to that, go up here, snap to the top. Now let's go to 1D, 3D, and that's how you create this thing. So let me show you what it looks like if I went in and put my ceiling in there. Okay, so you got a missing door, missing. Okay, so let's throw out the ceiling, and same thing inside there, missing, wall, missing. That's how you create those bathrooms, guys. Okay, now you're gonna come across uh, some houses that have pillars. Okay, I have videos on how to create pillars. Now, I found an easier way to create it. Sometimes you have to use that other way. So if you look at my videos, you'll see I created pillars a different way. So the way you would do this, if you wanted to create a pillar inside a room, so let's go ahead and throw in a ceiling in here, and let's go inside this room. And so your room would have a missing wall, it'd have a pillar, and those pillars are usually 12 inches wide. Okay, and then the thickness from here to here would be 12 inches. Um, and then another thing you might see out there is a real thick wall like this one right here. I got that one to be 12 inches, and then you'll see an arch uh, missing wall. I'm going to show you how to do all of this real quick. It's real simple, and I created some windows so you can see inside that those rooms. Okay. Okay. So real simple. Okay. So let me delete this, and then I'm going to change this into a 4 feet wall, which is that's usually what your walls are going to be unless they're exteriors. Okay, so this is basically what you're going to have. So if you wanted to create a pillar, you know, uh, You can multi-select walls. I selected both of them. You know, I can hit Shift Enter, or I can click on that little box and it goes into your properties. Change that into, let's say, heck, let's say 1.5 feet. So let's say 1,6 feet. Now that's going to be a real thick one. And then, you know, you can change this. So let's say that this actually went like this, lined up to this one. So if I hit my S for my snap line, I could go in here and snap it right there. See, now you have a even line down here. Okay, so let's say you have 1 feet pillars. So, you know, if I hit M for missing, look at the left hand side from where I'm selecting. You see, I have uh, let's say that they're 1 feet 6 inches thick, just like the size of the wall. So I'm gonna left click and drag. Now you see right there in the center. Let's say that they're also one. Okay, no, okay. So let's say the opening is 3 feet. You would let go. Now let's say you have another pillar that's that thick. You hit M for missing, and I'm gonna start from the left and drag to right there, right? Now, oh, excuse me. I need to move this guy over. I need from here to here to be, you know, we said it was 1/6, right? Now look, an easy way, you can go in here and get a calculator and start adding this. But let's say I wanted this to be exactly 1 feet 6 inches. See, there's nothing here telling me that, right? So look, I'm gonna enlarge the area. I'm gonna hit L for line. I'm gonna click on the left hand side and I'm gonna draw a little line till it says 1 feet 6 inch. You see it right in here? It says 6 feet 1 inch. All now you just gotta draw, hold your shift key because it'll snap. You see how it's snapping? If you hold your shift key, you can move it anywhere you want. Now, um, I can delete that. And then now let's say there's from this corner to this corner is another 1 feet 6 inch, right? So how would you do that? So I'm going to hit my S for snap line. So this is the corner of it. Okay. And I want to hit L for line. I'm going to click and drag until I see 1 feet 6 inch, right? Now I just got to move this opening to there. Click here, delete, and 3D, boom. Oh, it has my, here, let me turn off the ceiling. There you go, guys. See? And this thing is, from here to here, it's 1 feet 6 inches. From here to here, 6 feet 1 inch. Same thing, from here to here. So, I showed you how to manipulate that stuff. Now, let's say that on this side, which I've been to a bunch of houses, especially when you get out there in Florida, um, you might run into a house. So let's say I'm going to hit M for missing wall. I'm going to click here, and then I'm going to change up properties to a round arch. And this is what that would look like now. 3D. Now you have a round arch, and inside there, from here to here is 1 feet 6 inch because that's what the size of the wall. And let's say that this room, you wanted this to line up. In other words, this room and this room were both the same size. You can again hit S for your snap line. You can go in here, enlarge the area, and just move this to the left. Oh, it's not going to look. It's not going to let me because of. Oh, because I didn't select the right one. That's why. Okay. Then you can go in here and manipulate that right there. And of course, if you have a little problem like this, you can go in there and change that, but we're not going to mess with that. That's I know how to do that, but right now I got some other things I want to show y'all. Okay, so um, now you're also going to have missing walls on staircases. Okay, let me see if I showed you everything here. Yeah, I showed you there, so I don't need that no more. Let me show you some stuff about staircases. Okay, so if you have a staircase, sometimes you're going to have a staircase here that has a wall, a complete wall, and it'll just have an open wall, right? Or you might have a staircase that you see how it's stair stepped, the opening, and you have to stair step it, right? So you gotta play, not play around with it, but you gotta know what you're doing because it's easy to, let's delete that, go in here, select that wall, go in here, and you see where it says wall type, you can tell it missing above staircase, right? That's easy to do. Whoops. What did I do? No, partial. I'm missing above staircase. Okay, so that's easy to do that. You see? But what about when you have only half or a third or whatever, all this is filled in, but you have a section of it? So let me show you what you would do there. Okay, so first of all, I got a whole lesson about staircases, and this not have anything to do with learning how to do staircases, but I'm going to show you how to do a partial wall. Okay, so remember, your staircases from here to here is usually 12 feet 12 feet 1 inch, I think. Here, let me see. So let's hit staircase, and yeah, 12 1. Okay, so you got to keep that in mind. And your landings are usually 3 feet tall. So you got to remember that. So, um, so in other words, what I'm trying to explain is you're going to hit C for staircase. You see right here on the left. Let's say I go to um, 4 feet. Okay. Then you got your landing. Your landing is 3 4. Now, so remember we had 4 at the beginning, right? So you see right here. So 4 minus 11, or 12, let's say basically 12. So here we're going to go 8. Okay, and now I'm going to release. You're going to delete this, and when you combine these two together, it should be the same size as this one right here. I was off by about an inch, so I guess I'm not good at math. uh, but anyway, so now let's say that I want to only remove, not remove, but I want this area to be missing above staircase 3D, and that's how you do partial. Okay, so a lot of this stuff has to do a lot with math. I have a math calculator. When I'm not teaching, I use my calculator. I mean, I can get this thing to the 15th of an inch because of the calculator I have. Okay, so now also, uh, you could also put a small missing wall in here. If you hit M for missing wall, you could go in here. Let's say you go to 2D, and you can tell that missing wall to be however you want it. I love that 2D. It's not 2D, but the elevation view. I'll call it 2D. So now you go to 3D, You see? Or again, let's say that sometimes you'll have a door and there, let's let it go out. Okay, so 3D, you see, let's say you want that door, let's say it was a tiny little door. You can manipulate it here, right? That's a tiny little door. I've seen those little doors like that. So they have little access doors, and you can even have a door down here. I'm not teaching doors right now, but I'm just showing y'all this. Y'all seen these things before. Okay. Let me see what else I wanted to teach y'all. Let me see. Missing about staircases. Show you that. Let's see. Oh, um, whenever you have we talk about the elevation view, right? You cannot go into elevation view once something is arched. First of all, that arch wall can only be arched. It can't you can't move it. You can only move it the arch back and forth. Another thing is if I go to 2 for that elevation view, you see how it doesn't. I don't care if I go on the exterior or the interior or exterior, it doesn't let me go into that elevation view. Now look, if I go here, 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 and here, it'll let me, but not once it's arched. So if you're going to be doing some weird walls and you're doing it all mathematically, uh, you know, you you might want to convert it back into a non-arch wall. Okay, so let's go in here and change that to arch to no. Hit enter. You might want to go ahead and do your windows and doors how you want it, because even though you can manipulate it on 3D, 3D is kind of harder for me to do, you know. So let's say, um, you know, you had a small door, two small doors, and the windows. Uh, you can go into 2D, and it's easier to manipulate it here. So let's change. Okay, so let's do both of them the same size. So this is a 3 3. It's actually probably 3 3. So you can hit Control C, change this to a 3 3. Um, okay, and let's say that the doors are only 5 4. Okay, change that to 5 4, and change this one to 5 4. And let's say we put in a window, and I'm gonna we got 3 3. Oh, 3 3 3 3. Yep. Okay, hit Control C, Control V, and uh, put the other one. Okay, you can manipulate it on 2D. Then you can go and change your this into an arch and say yes, enter, and now you can, let's say you wanted 2 inches. But again, remember now, 'cause remember we did this all in the elevation view. Okay, I can't go back to elevation view here. Okay, so if you try and try, you're not you're not making no mistake. You just can't do it. You can do it here, here, here because it's not arched. And once you arch something, you can't. Uh, you see how I can move this around. you can't extend this like I can here. Like you see how I'm extending it? When once something's arched, it won't extend. All it lets you do manipulate the arch itself. Okay, I think I've covered everything that I was going to cover. Thank you for watching this video. There's still a lot more to this than there's a lot of ways to manipulate in your wall openings. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, put a like, and I'll see you on my next video. Hey guys, I have 109 videos. Actually, this makes my 110th video. If you watch my videos, you can actually go way beyond level 3 certification because you're not going to learn none of this stuff. Well, some of this stuff you will, but if you look around, you're not going to see this in any certification uh, or even some of the videos don't go into detail on what I do. Thank you for watching my video. I'll see you on the next one.